Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And we are coming live. Me, Irina Portnova, and my uh, co partner in love and relationship, Bruno Gel. And we are here with another um, tips in bite sizes. And today we're going to be talking about how to navigate the ups and downs of relationships. And we know that just like anything in life, whether it's work related, whether it's relationship related. We know that we are all experiencing different kind of emotions, all the spectrum of emotions, right? Because we are humans, and we go from great emotions when we feel ecstatic and euphoric to the low emotions where we feel down, where we feel frustrated, and it's just a side of the humans that we have, and it's very important for us to recognize it, and it's very important to learn how to deal with these kind of emotions that we have. Bruno.
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I believe it's important to deal with those emotions, especially like being a man. I think it's important that that men know how to control their emotions. For example, when it comes to relationships, the number one way women have to try a guy is to play with their ego, see how he reacts. Um, because if the guy is impulsive and the guy doesn't know how to control his emotions, if the guy doesn't know how to deal with rejection, if the guy doesn't know how to deal with he doesn't get what he wants, then what is going to happen? Then like women just overthink and they just panic when they think about, oh my god, what would happen if that happened, between me and him, and I was in a relationship with him, like what would he do? And they think of the worst. So like usually I think it's very important that like especially men control their emotions, their behaviors, because I think like men have to control their ego, and women have to control their temperance. I think, I believe so. You can speak better for women because you are the woman, and I am the man, so it's different. Um, but yeah, especially men, ego is a thing that people that we have to especially detach ourselves from a lot, because there's nothing to win. There's only to lose with ego. Our ego destroys business, destroys friendship, destroys love, destroys relationship, destroys our own peace, destroys our own calm, destroys our own peace of mind. Only because people try to control everything they can instead of controlling what they can. Um, so yeah.
Thank you for your input. Yeah, I think you're on the right track with that, and I think it also takes a lot of being emotionally intelligent when we are talking about relationships and how to deal with ups and downs. It's great when people are acting like adults, not like children, in terms of nobody throws the tantrums, nobody's trying to prove something to someone else, right? So, like when you don't feel that roller coaster, but basically just, like when people need space. And I think it's good just, like to kind of figure out, for that pause, just to see where each one stands, and, just to process any negative emotions or whatever going on in life. So this way they don't bring it up on their partners.
Hmm.
And obviously, it's a learning process, it's a growing process, because we were not born with these skills.
Hmm.
That's why we came to this life, to
Yeah.
experience things and to learn and to grow with that. And that's something that we are constantly mastering. And no matter how good we can be, there is still room for improvement, to be a better version of who we are, and to bring the best into any relationships that we are in. Bruno.
No, absolutely. I agree with what you're saying. um, there's just the thing of, yeah, I mean, it's just like controlling. I think like it's all about control for a lot of people, because to try and to bring, the worst thing people can do is bring their problems into their own household, or like bring something that has nothing to do with the other person. And because like I don't agree with, um oh yeah, I have to tell you about my stuff, because you're with me, so you have to listen to that. I don't agree with that specifically. um I think that's just an excuse for people to dump their frustrations on somebody that they know will stay, which means that they don't value them that much. They don't even respect that much. They just take the person for granted. That's why they dump it, right? So it's almost like, especially people in marriages, they're like, no, no, we signed the paper that says this, 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 this. So if it says this, 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 then I have the right to do it. No, you don't have the right to do it. It's not like that, right? I mean, it's not like somebody forced you to sign those papers, and now you can do those things and stuff. No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. Nobody has to tolerate how pathetic you are and how shit you feel. So like, if you have problems, you should deal with those problems the right way. You can open up about your problems, right? But that doesn't mean that you can say and dump those problems in any sort of way and scream and shout, and it doesn't mean anything, right? So it's one of those things again where, for example, that's ego, right? That's all ego. And I think if, because when you're up there, and when I mean you're up there, when it comes to feeling, right, when you're happy, right, you're over the moon, you're up in the clouds, everything seems so perfect, you could stay in that moment forever. Of course there's no problems, of course not, right? Like, no, when, I mean, I'll say it like this, I don't give a shit. When the woman is still sucking dick, and like the guy is still licking pussy and whatever, no, everything is great, right? The problem is when things appear. The problems is when the problems actually appear, right? and and then you see if your relationship really is something else, something out of the ordinary, which means, if you are able to have a type of reaction, or a type of observation, or a type of behavior that differentiates your relationship from the others, which means that your relationship is better. But it's better in terms of it will last more, because you actually know how to fix a problem within yourselves, right? You actually know how to sit down and talk, right? So relationships are like roller coasters, and everybody knows that, right? That relationships are like roller coasters. Obviously, there's a lot of problems, including financial problems like money. Money is mainly, and usually most times, the problem of it all is the money, right? So it's one of those things where, if it wasn't for that, there wouldn't be so many breakups, or there wouldn't be so many whatever. Especially because a lot of women, if a woman makes more money than a man, um, the majority of women who make more money than a guy makes in the relationship, they don't respect the guy, because they know that anytime they can always leave. They're not so dependable on them, right? And it's not something that turns women a lot. That turns on women a lot, because the whole love that a man wants, and that a woman knows that a man wants, is in the form of respect, right? And that's why I come back to the beginning. That's why, like, a lot of women who taunt men with their ego is basically saying them, I don't respect you, because if I did respect you, I wouldn't laugh at you, right? So that's why they taunt, right? But that's how, if a man does respond and react in a good way, like, you can laugh as much as you want, I couldn't give a shit, then they respect the guy because they know that those type of behaviors don't really match with their identity, right? So it's always very nice. But yeah, I mean, navigating the ups and downs of relationships, it can be complex for some people, but it's only complex if you don't know how the other person really wants to be treated, like, or or how the other person really wants things done, and that goes for both parties. So yes.
Um, I have my point of view.
Yeah.
So in any kind of, like strong relationships, right? Let's talk about strong relationships, not the relationships that could be easily broken. There is
Yeah, but
the time, right? There is a time when things are not working out the way they, like both parties want to work. So just remember that it's not the sentence, it's just the season. And I disagree with you in terms of, like you said, like don't dump things on another partner. I believe that's why that person is your partner, but it's all about the way you approach things and the way you allow yourself to express and to be heard. Because I wouldn't want to be with somebody who just, like keeps everything to himself and not sharing, because that's what the partners is all about. When people can hold that space for each other, when people can hold the energy, and when people support each other, because it's part of the deal to be together. And if if especially I think it's with men, excuse me, it's very common with men to keep things for themselves, and obviously it's not serving in the best way, because again, you are in the partnership for a reason. And it's okay to talk things out, but it's always about the way you speak things out, the way you express yourself. And like it's always, if there is a problem, there is a solution. But in order to tap to that solution, you have to be on a different mindset. You're not solving your problem from the same level that you have the problem. So and that's what, like that's what the people have to help each other out. Because when you are in a particular situation, sometimes it's difficult to deal it on your own. And it's great when you share, it's great when you can express yourself, and it's great if your partner understands you and wants to take a part of it and wants to make sure that they can contribute somehow to make you feel better. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I didn't say for men to not open up. I said for them to deal with that in their own way. If they're gonna dump, when I mean dump, I mean the exact definition of the word dumping, like just like almost like throwing, or like just leaving it all on the table, but like in a very toxic, negative way. Because one thing is sharing, another thing is dumping, and even if dump can mean share, dump is almost like a negative connotation, right? If you have a problem, share it. Don't dump on it. Don't dump that on people, right? That's what I'm saying, right? If you're gonna dump it on somebody, then don't say it. Do fix it by yourself, right? Because people have nothing to do with your problems. You're lucky enough that you have somebody who listens to you, right? So, which a lot of people don't have, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think we kind of like we agree, but we also disagree. I mean, it's totally fine. But then again, that comes from an opinion of a man and an opinion of a woman. But I think like generally we agree. I think there's just one or two things that we kind of disagree, but that's normal. That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah. And also regarding the roller coaster, I don't like roller coasters. And obviously, you can make it the way that you don't experience it, because if you're not allowing the person to do these things to you, you just move on. And
Yes,
That's exactly what you have to do for yourself. This is your choice, your decision. So if something doesn't work the way you want it to work, and if the other person doesn't want to really level up and do the work required, I
mm,
think there is no need to go through these roller coasters, because it's a lot of emotional drainage that's happening.
you're right. You're right. But when I mean what I meant by emotional roller coaster, I'm not talking about like one day I'm gonna make you feel like you're like the best, and the next I'm gonna make you feel like absolute shit. I'm saying like because that's individualizing the roller coaster. I'm talking on a collective. I'm talking like there can be troubled times where people can have like problems them both because of whatever, and they're both trying to fix it, working as a team, and then they can be up after a year or some months, right? Then they can be down after some years and then be up again, right? But then again, right, navigating the ups and downs of relationships, that's exactly what it means, right? Is trying to find the best solution for every single part of your life in phase that you are in your relationship, right? We're not talking about like well, I wasn't talking about narcissistic, chauvinistic, egotistical behaviors or potential behaviors that people can have. I'm talking about certain phases in the relationship, ups and downs, that need to be navigated in the most um, mutual beneficial way possible, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So just for the listeners to know that ups and downs, it's a normal cycle of life, and just like we are living in the world of duality, it's the day, it's the night, it's the happiness, it's the sadness, but it's all about just learning how to navigate it without really losing yourself in the
Mhm.
mess, and knowing that if you're with the right person, you can always work things out.
Mhm.
And
So,
obviously it takes courage, it takes openness, it takes you know understanding, be able to listen to each other side, what each of you have to say about it, and just be there for each other,
mhm. Oh, cool.
just work as a team.
Totally agree.
So we would love to hear your comment, to
Mhm.
know what exactly you're thinking in that topic, because obviously we all coming with our own experiences, with our own stories, and we would
Mhm.
love you to share your story with us, or your experience, so we can have a great engaging conversation around it. All right,
And
till next week, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and see you tomorrow at our show, Love It to Shove It.
bye.